I'm glad to see you. This is really phenomenal. And Vivian has done a great job bringing people here together. My concern, like has just been mentioned, is the process. Well, you can't hear me?
Yeah, closer to the forward, closer to the
right there?
yes.
Okay, right there. In the process of granting consent to Wikipedia, where was the transparency? That's the question we're asking over and over. I'm wondering why residents and businesses within 500 feet were not notified by mail. They should have received a letter. Other cities do that. Why didn't this city do that? They should have held meetings. One of the processes we have to look at is what is this facility going to do for a drug addict to come here to get help? We're always crying out, get them into treatment. Now we have a treatment facility that has a very, very poor reputation when it comes to helping those in need. They've agreed to pay $17 million for their fraudulent billing of Medicare. They came here and slept in undercover, and I don't know how much was on the part of the city and how much was on the part of the company itself. That I do not know. I cannot speak to it. I do know that facilities such as this, if they do not have counseling services with the drugs they furnish, it has a very low success rate. The success rates of such facilities run between 30% and 70%. 70% is good. 30% is not good. It's not there good enough for people taking help. So I ask for more transparency and for the mayor to speak up and tell us to hold hearings, and let's take a look at the company that's coming in. Is it a viable company to do what the addicts seeking help need, and is it going to be safe in a manner that protects the whole community? The children who are in the area, the people who come to these businesses at this right here on this intersection, will everyone be safe? It has been said there would be security in the building. What kind of security? Is it going to be a uniformed officer? Is it going to be a friend of the clinic? Is it going to be a camera at the entrance? What kind of security will be there? These are the questions that need to be asked and answered by the mayor and the planning department. We know the city council did not get information, so they're in the dark as much as we are. I ask for you to continue with this activism. I'm going to call you activists today. Y'all got a new label. We need to be active and pursue this. We can't have problems like this taking over communities. It's not just here. This company, Acadia, is coming from another location from Boston, right? And so now they're coming here, and they'll be going elsewhere. How can we get good, safe treatment for the addicts seeking help, and how can we keep our children and everyone in the community safe? I ask these questions, and I would like you to ask the mayor. I'm sure you can get her email. I'm sure you can phone her. I'm sure there's people here who can tell you that. You need to be on top of this and not let up. Time is short. This facility is getting ready to open, and children are seriously at risk. Thank you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, you do.
Next we'll have Val. Val, are you here?
I didn't miss too much, did I?
For
Val,
what?
are you here?
I mean speakers.
I just got
She's a
here.
community
So
member.
did I, but I
And
looked
she's been devoted
like
volunteer
came in
on
late by
local
30 minutes,
mental health.
so I didn't know if you
Oh no, I just.
Just hold up your mouth. Put it near your mouth as close as possible.
Hi everyone, thank you for coming out here today. I've been grateful for Vivian. We have a reason to be here today. Thank you. We are here because this is the wrong location for this facility. This is not the right location. Look at the children here. Oh my goodness, we need to protect our children.
Here, here.
There's a Boys and Girls Club just down the street. You can throw a softball that far. There's a baseball diamond where kids play all the time. We believe there needs to be a treatment facility for people that need support. However, this is not the right location. We need to stand strong together. We are going to make this known that we are strong about not opening this facility. So Vivian has been just so amazing. I don't know how we can thank her.
Thank you, Vivian!
Thank you. I want to say that our group really truly want to help. We are not here to say we don't want to help people. And we understand there are people that do not agree with us. And they are here today, and they asked me if they can speak. And I said yes, we want to hear from everybody. We want to make this an open and transparent discussion. This is why we have been so angry from the beginning. Why not tell us? Since you are here, I will give you the platform to speak. And I ask our group to be respectful. We may hold a different opinion, but we should respect their opinions, and we can agree to disagree. So here's Renee, who wants to speak. They're supportive of this clinic.
Hi, thank you for just giving me a minute to just talk to you.
Be closer to you.
Okay.
Perfect.
Hi, I am not a politician, trained person at all. I'm just here on behalf of the moms in this neighborhood who have children who have suffered from addiction and have fought the system to try and get help for their children. And a piece of my loved one's, you guys say the addict, I say my loved one, a piece of her recovery was a one-year time where she was on the methadone program. She had to go to Capitol Hill to get it. It was not a perfect answer, but she would tell you that it saved her life. And there just is a time that they need to be on methadone, and it is a helpful thing. And I experienced taking her to the Methadone Clinic on Capitol Hill. She showed up, she got her line, she got her dose, she left. It was just a very quick process. She did have to get counseling there, she did have to get drug treatment there, but the most part of her experience there, and the experience of most people in a methadone clinic, is the showing up, getting their dose, and leaving. So I just want to add that to what you're thinking about as you're considering the fear of having this in your neighborhood. Up until a couple months ago, my grandson was at the Boys and Girls Club. I would have no problem, as a mom who's experienced having addicted people in her life, I would have no problem with this clinic being this close to him. And I understand your anger about feeling like this just has been foisted on you, and the fear, and it seems like it's an injustice. But I would just appeal to your heart, to your compassion. There really is no way to protect your children from addiction. It's all around us. We have to be part of a solution, even though it's an imperfect part of a solution. So that's all I've got to say. Thank you for being respectful and listening to me today.
Thank you.
Question. Just one question. I have a question. I have a question. I would like to know if you would be open to the health department putting the clinics within other health facilities, like adjacent to a hospital, adjacent to an existing existing hospital, existing medical facilities and clinics, and not out here within a neighborhood.
Yes. Good point.
I am open to it going anywhere where it can be helpful. I feel that this is a location that is on a main thoroughfare. It's easy for them to get to. It's easy for them to leave. It's not in a neighborhood. It's not right. It's got the zoning for it. I'm open to there being many more of these because it is definitely a need. And if addiction hasn't touched your life, count yourself blessed, but it will touch your life eventually, I can promise you.
Just one more. Just one more interjection, please. Coming from a law enforcement background, I'm a retired police officer from the state of California. I know what these clinics and the type of people in need of, obviously a lot of them, but a lot of them also are way far gone with no supportive system. I could see them going to a hospital type facility or an hospital zoned clinic area, but not where the foot traffic is going past a Boys and Girls Club facility with children, not through the neighborhoods and not accessing the bus lines into private area. And I just think that there's a better location, and there should have been more transparency to the residents of Lynnwood.
Thank you, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
So I just quickly want to speak to what we just heard, what we just witnessed. Open and honest discussion about something that concerns all. And I want to be very clear on something. We support compassionately the heck that people are going through who suffer addiction. Let me just say my background, not me with addiction, but understanding that my brothers suffered from addiction. I used to get on the ferry, and I know people will use that against me, but I used to get on the ferry to McNeil Island to visit my brother who was in prison because he was addicted and turned to crime. I lost my nephew 3 weeks ago, a fentanyl overdose. So when we talk about compassion and having these centers to help our citizens, our children, our family members to get clean, that's what we should all want. And we all support that. But there's a better way to do it. And I believe what all of you are talking about right here is this. When you conduct a project management one-on-one is you do open and honest discussion before you start your project, so that you can solicit the feedback from the people who will be impacted by your product or your project. And so by getting that feedback, that inclusion from your citizens, that's what we're talking about. We have compassion. We support those who are suffering the tragedy of addiction. But we must work together as a community to find solutions, just like this amazing mother said, to find solutions to treatment that will work without exposing our children, without bringing hardship to our community. There's just a better way to do it. So we all own compassion. God bless you guys.
Thank you, Sammy. Thank you for all the speakers. I'm glad that we can have an honest, open discussion. So I'll speak last. I think, at first I want to thank everyone, single one of you to come here today to show the support, especially the speakers from both sides, for inspiring us, for being with us. And I think by now we already heard so much pros and cons, concerns, issues. So I won't repeat all of that. But I want to share some of my personal thoughts from my recent interactions with our state officials, with our state representative and the Department of Health. So last week, I met with Representative Davis on Zoom. I tried to have a very open, honest discussion, brought up all of our concerns, and then she agreed that this is not the right location, that the process was botched, was wrong, was broken. She agreed with that, but yet she insisted that because Acadia already got the city of Lynnwood permits, that they should be allowed to proceed.
No!
And her words, in her own words, and I quote, "You are very focused and fixated on one particular outcome, but I am in the business of politics. We are in the business of compromise, and that's the nature of what I do for a living," unquote. So you see, we have been told that we are too focused and fixated on one particular outcome. We are somehow become unreasonable because we don't want to make a compromise. But I tell you, when it comes to the safety of our kids, we don't compromise.
Yes!
Right there.
We refuse to play Russian roulette with the lives of our kids. And let me ask you, Representative Davis, if we are talking about compromise, why are you compromising our community, our kids, not Acadia? Woo! risking our kids' lives for their wrongdoing.
To the prophets, yes.
And why are the state officials and Department of Health allowing this to happen and supporting them while they acknowledge that the process is strong, while they acknowledge that there are concerns with the location? We, and my personally, repeatedly emailed them. Ian, Michelle, from Department of Health, tons of emails. Ian only replied me once with generic information, garbage. I requested to meet with him. He stopped responding. I emailed him all of the findings on Acadia that we found in our research. We actually was approached by another group called Victims of Acadia.
Wow.
That was a 200-member group on Facebook. I encourage you to all check out. I was approached by the victims who provided us with their own research. I emailed Ian and Michelle. I highlighted the fact that there are kids that died in Acadia's own clinics. Those are their own patients in their special needs kids clinic. There was a 5-year-old boy who died in the back of their bed because they forgot about him. And that happened inside their own clinic. And how can you, Department of Health, Representative Davis, expect us to trust them, to trust Acadia
We don't.
with the kids outside of their clinics? Will they protect them? And they lied. They lied so many times. But yet we are the ones asked to compromise.
Nope.
Because they already got the permits. Okay, what is that is done? Let them open. I am a mom of 3 kids. If my son, one of my children, grab a toy from their sibling without permission and justify that by saying, oh, I just need it. I really need it. I don't tell them that because what is done is done and you can just have it. I let them take their own responsibilities and do things right. And that's how you should do it. State officials, representatives, county council members, I want to remind you that you are elected by the people.
Yes.
You represent the people.
Right.
Listen to our voices.
Here, here.
We are here to show you this is the people's will.
That's right.
You are not here to share your personal judgment on any issue. We have been called NIMBYs, heartless, fearmongers, selfish, not trying to help, not providing support, so many times. So easy for you to see. And I want to ask, this including all the keyboard warriors, including state officials, what are you going to do if one kid gets harmed?
Exactly.
If homeless people camp out here, are you going to come here and take them home? Are you going to come here and clean up the trash? You're not.
Yep.
And people talk about, I don't want to help. This past week, I personally drove to 3 methadone clinics. I sat outside in their parking lot. I look at these people because I want to understand. I do see that they come in and go. Many of them need help. And that's what we have repeated again and again. We want to help. But I also want to emphasize that there's a distinct group in this population that is very harmful to kids. And that's just fact. For anyone who disagree, I encourage you to just sit outside in the parking lot of the clinics and try to see with your own eyes. Tell me, are going to do, Michelle Davis, if drug dealers show up outside here at 6 a.m. in the morning? Are you going to get the cops to take them away from us? So today is the first day of Lunar New Year. It's the first day of the Year of Rabbit. So we are here for a good cause. On the first day of the Lunar New Year, I urge Acadia, do things right. Start from the beginning. Department of Health, state officials, you admit there's a problem, fix it. Let Acadia bear the responsibilities. Let them bear the consequences, not their community, not their residents, not their people. Do you know how busy these clinics are? They come in and go, come in and out, go in and go out. This loud right here will not be able to hold it. You should actually go to bottle location and look at yourself. There will be medical vans, people with wheelchairs, with medical equipment. You need to have a lot more space in this.
That's a zoning issue that I know
that's another problem, right? Everybody acknowledges that this location is not right, the process is not right, but we are repeatedly told that because they already have the permit, they should be allowed to proceed. Why is that? Why is that?
I have not talked to the permit people at the city of Lynnwood. If they believe that the traffic patterns are appropriate and that the parking is appropriate, just like it would be for any other business. If they were opening a Chick-fil-A up here, then that and they felt that there was an adequate parking and adequate traffic mitigation. So it's not different for the type of business. For the type of business, it's different for the traffic portion. If it's a high traffic business, then the city of Lynnwood, right, has decisions that they need to make about parking and about access. It doesn't matter the type of business, just how much.
City of Lynnwood said that they were not consulted. This came from above, from the state level.
Yeah.
And they just found out around the same time we all
Not for the zoning when they allowed it in March.
That's something we are going to find out because somebody did something. But the only thing that holdings on the state level, there is still the Department of Health can decide whether Acadia can get their certification or not. With all this wrongdoing, all their back history, I just wonder why do they want to put their reputation on risk by supporting this?
Like I think I said to you, the Department of Health has to do their due diligence no matter what health provider they're licensing, whether it's cancer treatment, kidney dialysis treatment. They have to do the due diligence for that provider, and I am sure that they're doing the due diligence on Acadia Health. Acadia Health has been, as you said, running a treatment center in Bothell, so they do have a history here in the state of Washington. They have other treatment centers. So I'm sure that those are the things that are being taken into account in the Department of Health to make their final decision. So that's what they have to do. Like I said, it doesn't matter what health treatment it is, the Department of Health, if this were a dialysis treatment, they would be doing their due diligence on the history of the company that wants to do dialysis. If it's medically assisted treatment for substance use disorder, they do the same thing. So they're doing their due diligence in that history.
How are they doing it? We repeatedly ask for more transparency, and they are not giving it, right? They don't even talk to us. That's the thing, right? Like, how are they doing their due diligence? We repeatedly emailed them about what we found about Acadia, even with their own Washington State clinic, right? People are saying, okay, Acadia is a big company, maybe the other state is all local branch, local, we get that. But even for this Bothell location, this regional director, they have been proved again and again that they lied. They lied in their community relations plan. They lied. Did you know that in the meeting they actually referred to one of the police officers as a male, where actually that person is a female? Like, complete lie. And the Department of Health know this. And why are they not immediately say, okay, because of the lies and the incomplete document?
I can't speak for the Department of Health. That it certainly as a legislator, that's.
But there is something you can do to help.
I've talked to the
Lynnwood City
Department
Council already drafted a letter to the state
opposing and raising all these concerns, and that's what we're asking you to do the same. Why not representative people raise the concerns? Why are you still supportive of this thing, even though you acknowledge that so many wrongdoings in the process? I just don't understand. There's something you can do here. That's the residents in this unincorporated Snohomish County asking you to do. That's why I personally commented in the meetings twice.
And I have other residents that believe that this is the right thing to do.
Not the location.
I have other residents that believe this specific area is
Where are they today?
right. They didn't come to the protest against it. Well, some did, but
they don't feel strongly for it. But these people were very strong against it.
There's always a majority.
I understand.
And we have a super. The poll we had 95% opposing rate. The public hearing. Lynnwood City Council meetings are highly encouraged to read, to watch the recording. There was 2 hours of public comments, and there were people supporting of it. I say there was one clinic therapist, I think, who works in the field, showed up and testified for support. But the ratio would probably be 95% or 90% opposing and 10% supporting. And I don't understand why you chose to represent that 10%, not the majority of your people.
Well, no offense to Mario, I don't think it was a scientific poll.
Yeah, agreed. It was not a scientific
and,
poll.
and as you said, I'm proud to happy to have this debate around treatment centers in general. I understand again people's frustrations with transparency. I've been an elected official. I was on the Edmonton City Council before, and it is always, I think, a legitimate concern with citizens about transparency, and I, as an elected official, have always tried to improve that, always tried to get more information to people, hear more information from people. Is it always a perfect system? No.
It wasn't even close this time. It wasn't even close.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, and I don't, in your name,
I'm Mathiew Patrick Thomas, chairman of the King County Republican Party.
King County Republican.
This project was started back in March, and then they wait till December 19th to let everyone know, and it's minimal public comment. That's not the way you do these things. Why do you think it lasts? Why do you think it lasts 10 days? Is that normal to do it that way? No, it's not. But there was such a straight up. Wednesday was.
Can you actually send it to me?
Yeah, send that to me. I'll only get that too. You send it to me.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
So the conversation started. This was the trash that he dumped all over our road. So he had a truck parked right here with a trailer covered in trash, and he was a stolen vehicle. God. My neighbor recognized that it was a stolen vehicle because he ran the bin, wanted to see whose it was. When he called it in stolen, a guy calls out from the trailer, tries to jump in the truck and run away. Sheriff's department pulled up at the same time. So the first thing I saw was the cop holding the gun on him right in front of my house.
That's right here? That's right, yeah.
Exactly.
Another example of why we don't want this here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
just offed himself in the middle of an opioid crisis. And if he had the support he needed, he may not have. Your real estate prices are less important than empathy for people. Human beings are more important.
I got an idea. How about we put the clinic?
What? What's your idea?
We'll put the clinic across the street from you. How about that?
I would if I could afford a house. If I could afford a house, I would absolutely welcome a clinic across the street from my house. You have addicts living amongst you. Treat them like fucking people. You lack empathy.
Buy a home!
I can't afford a home because the real estate market.
Work hard!
I'm here because I don't work hard. I'm spending my Sunday doing this and you butthead because I don't work hard. Even though it originates right here in this community. Kids before profits! Kids before profits! Kids before profits! Kids living that don't have support. You have addicts living amongst you that don't have the support they need. And they never will until you grow some empathy and flex that shit. Treat humans like humans. If you have a problem with profit in healthcare, go fight for universal healthcare. You backward, NIMBY bastard. Universal healthcare. Hey, get that out of my ear! What? Get that out of my ear! I'm sorry. Stand behind me. No, you should leave. You don't need to do that. Oh, I didn't mean to hit him with that. I'm holding it this way because somebody knocked it out of my hands earlier and the battery scattered. Somebody grabbed the battery and ran off it. If you don't like profit in healthcare, lobby for universal healthcare. If education were free, you would know the difference between socialism and communism. Oh, I see. If you don't like profit in healthcare, go fight for universal healthcare. If you don't like profit in healthcare, go fight for universal healthcare. If you don't like universal healthcare, stop complaining about profit in healthcare. Why are you wearing a mask? Yes. Sorry, I didn't understand.
A 5-year-old boy fighting their mask because they forgot about it.
Yes, it's horrible. That's
It's profit.
they're talking about profit. That's why I said the thing about universal health. A child dying in their van because an addict forgets about them is terrible.
We should have a barrier.
I'm not out here advocating for heroin.
No, you just want it in a different place.
Right. That's why it says NIMBY trash.
No, this is
Your real estate is less important than human beings.
a really good video.
Access to care is important.
No, I don't want to.
Yeah, you want it? That's right. Actually, you're getting it.
No, I've got it all right.
Access to care is important. This guy's
That's right, so move it to 99.
addicts. You have addicts that live amongst you, and they have nowhere to go for help.
Nowhere? Then why did they get chased out of Boston?
Right. It's just not as important as you not have to look at it, and it's fucking atrocious. Yes, I didn't just show up here. Yes. I said, don't show up on promo next time. Look at this.
You don't want it.
I'm fine with it being in Edmonds.
So I take it he was just following the tail end, or was he already active when you got down there?
He was active when I
No,
got there.
I want it to be anywhere where it's already about to be built. No, I don't care if it's near me. But again, I don't know. It's not. I think it's fine with it being in Edmonds, but it's almost done here. It's already through the process. I don't care. The whole reason everybody is here is because you'd rather not have opioid clinics in your backyard.
We're not against people getting...
Dude, that lady literally said, not in my backyard.
Children.
There are children everywhere.
They don't congregate near boys and girls.
Earlier you said you wanted them to put a clinic in an industrial area, as if people just live in industrial areas.
There's no bus routes here.
There are no bus routes here because NIMBYs vote down stuff like public transport. Yes, you do. I've watched it happen for 35 years. I've lived.
They're just flying off the handle.
No, I grew up here. I've lived here. I've watched it.
You can take it to Edmonds where you live.
That's not how stuff works. I can't just take it there. You know you understand how real estate works, or you wouldn't be here.
Yeah, no problem.
Your real estate market is less important than humans. Have some public empathy.
You're so funny. So she's helping me.
Thank you.
Sorry. And so I said,
So did you tell us the protest or?
well, no, I was running some errands. I love to speak.
So you're probably taking that back from all the government.
Even amongst kids. If they can't get heroin, what are they going to cut it off? Methadone doesn't give you high. If they can't get their heroin, what are they going to tell you? Prescription. People in affluent areas like Lynnwood, Alderwood.
So that's kind of why all of all we're saying kids. Education, law and order.
You know what I said?
That's different.
trying so well that, you know, like I think